Yo, what is up guys, it's Ryan from Christian Coasters. I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Tennessee Tornado, the aerodynamics custom looper by Alan Schilke at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Before we start getting into this review, let's read some of the stats of this coaster. It has a track length of 2,682 feet, a height of 163 feet, a drop of 128 feet, and a maximum speed of 63 miles per hour. It's got 3 inversions, a duration of 1 minute and 48 seconds, and a G-force limit of 3.7. Okay, so before I go through the layout and give my experience of my 3 rides I had on this ride, I do want to say that this is widely considered the best aerodynamics custom looper there is. And I gotta say, I find it to be overrated. I'm sorry guys, but if you just hear me out a little bit, I will explain why I do prefer Vortex a little bit more. However, that does not take away from this awesome ride. It is still a very good ride. When you're going up the lift hill, one thing you will immediately notice is how well the coaster interacts with the terrain around it. When you crest at the top and go down that pre-drop, it looks like you're basically riding on the ground as opposed to a track because of how close to the ground it gets. It's really cool. But once you bank around that pre-drop, that's when you go down the drop. Hence the name pre-drop, duh. And man, let me tell you, aerodynamics loopers that I've been on so far have some of the best drops, I think, of all coasters. I'm not saying it is the best drop, but both of the ones I've been on, which is this and Vortex, man, do they have very fun, quick drops, and they give you a real quick pop of air going down too. They kind of make your stomach just go woo, kind of like a drop tower. It's very cool sensation. Another couple cool things about going down the drop is that it goes straight into a dark tunnel, and I was not expecting that. Doesn't really make the ride too much more thrilling, but it was just something cool. And the on-ride camera is also immediately after you go down the drop, which I was not expecting it to be there of all places, because normally you'd see it later in the ride when you're going through an inversion or something, but nope, this one's like halfway down the drop. You're not even all the way down at the bottom of the hill yet. As soon as you emerge from the drop, you go straight into a 110-foot vertical loop, and that is one of the biggest loops I've ever been on. I don't know if it is the biggest. I think that belongs to Rougarou, but it's definitely one of the biggest for sure. Please note when I'm talking about tallest loops, I'm talking about the ones that I've been on. I am aware that Full Throttle at Six Flags Magic Mountain is the tallest vertical loop in the world. After you go through that vertical loop, you go to an uphill banked right turn. Nothing too crazy to write home about there. After that, you drop into a vertical loop, immediately followed by a sidewinder that banks you to the right, and then you go up into another banked right turn, down a little hill, up a little hill that takes you right into the brake run. That gives you a little bit of air time. That part of the ride is definitely the most intense part, as is 2 inversions back to back very quickly. I do believe I did gray out in that portion of the ride. One thing to definitely take home about this coaster is that it is one of the shortest experiences on a ride you will ever have. Well, specifically roller coasters. The only shorter rides I can think of off the top of my head are Top Thrill Dragster and King to Ka. Although it is short, I think many people prefer this to Vortex because they think it's super intense, even though it's obviously short, like I said before. But for me personally, I think it being so short kind of makes it kind of lame because it's kind of like a one-trick pony. You got those 2 back-to-back elements, but nothing else really is that exciting about this ride except the fact that it is smoother than Vortex. I will say that it is the smoothest aerodynamics coaster I've ever been on. Heck, it's one of the smoothest coasters period that I've ever been on. For a lot of people, they claim that first drop and first loop makes them gray out as well, and that the rest of the ride is still intense. But for me, it just didn't do it. Maybe I rode it on a couple of bad days, but I just don't find it to be that intense. Don't get me wrong, it's still a very, 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 very fun ride as you're going through rapid, smooth transitions on a roller coaster. It's definitely better than your average coaster for sure. And I don't want to keep comparing it to Vortex, as this isn't a coaster fight or any type of comparison, but it kind of just gives people an idea who maybe haven't done Tennessee Tornado that have done Vortex. And I do think making comparisons does help make accurate descriptions of the ride, especially for people who have done both rides or maybe one or the other. Overall, I do think that Tennessee Tornado is still a great ride and is a great part of Dollywood lineup. However, I just can't say it's my favorite or even second favorite in the park, as I do prefer Wild Eagle and Lightning Rod over it. With all that being said, I'm going to give Tennessee Tornado a final score of 80 out of 100. It is a very good ride, it's fun, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely well above the average looping coaster. Thank you guys for watching. I'd like to know what you guys think about Tennessee Tornado and Dollywood, so leave a comment down below, or if you just want to say hi, anything's cool with me, so be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys next time here at Christian Coasters. Peace!